Hello, Susan Leonard here. Hi guys, in with my jewelry. So nice to see you guys this morning. Come on in and join in. Let's see if we can get this, if I can see a little bit better, if I have that light straight on me. Hi everybody. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, good morning, yay. Okay, well, you know, one of the first things I want to do is thank you guys so much for showing up for the component sale and the jewelry sale. Oh my gosh. Hi Sherry. Oh my gosh, Sherry and I were getting so close to going to Morocco. I can taste it, right? Christina's on, so wonderful, wonderful. There's Christina. She's my head of marketing woman, brilliant woman. So she actually is in charge of bringing, just doing all the marketing and sales and bringing everything into the forefront. So you guys see her answering letters and, both of us together, we create beautiful programs together. We hope. So we were just working on some things yesterday that I think are going to be really fun, right? Christina, it was really fun to do. Hi, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Here I am with my attire that I picked out for myself. I actually, it's this chain that I love. I'm actually, so many people ask me about this chain. I actually I have some really good people in India that I've been working with, and because I buy large quantities, I can get such good prices, so it really is like distributor prices. So I'm actually, I was like, look, you guys, see if you can find it first, and sometimes it's retail, but I'm actually I ordered bulk, and then I also ordered just necklaces with the sterling silver lobster claw. It's all sterling silver, everything attached, so maybe people, would even just want to order them finished. I know for me, I had some up on my sale. I wear it all the time now. I love the way it sparkles, and I know for me, it's like, it was a lot of work soldering the jump rings and the lobster claw on. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to order these in finished. So if anyone's interested in that, hi you guys, so nice to see you today. Thank you guys so much. I had a very, very successful component sale. It was really fun to do. I know for me, it's like I'm really super addicted to all of the Indian sterling, so most of it is sterling silver, some of it isn't, it's listed. Some of it is from melting down coins. Some of the ancient silver from years ago was from melting down European coins to create these ancient objects. So some of them are newer on there, but like when you get, this one is sterling silver, but some parts of it are not. It's the coin silver. Things like this I had on here. And for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, the thing I love using these pieces is to maybe just use one, maybe keep it as a collection, maybe wear it. I have a couple pairs I wear. Some of them are pretty light, or for creating your own work that's nice and comfortable and dramatic that you could, wear and be comfortable in. So that's always what I'm doing here. Here, I'll wear this piece too. I don't think it's going to interrupt with my design. So I actually there we go. That actually works really well. I started actually wearing just layers of smaller pieces because I'm focusing on my earrings. So just like a whole jewelry piece, when you're building your jewelry piece, I always talk about negative and positive space and giving your eye a break and, taking your work and leading people around your work so it makes sense. I actually have some really good, just very short lectures coming up in the Language of Jewelry Facebook. So if you guys are on there, let me know. I did a post yesterday. Thank you. Oh my gosh, so nice to see you guys. So I did a post yesterday, but I have some things coming on to the Language of Jewelry, and I want to hear you guys too. Layer. And it's all about layering and, building in layers. And it's the whole other side to jewelry making besides all the techniques. So it's so true. Really, really fun. So I actually have a subject matter that I want to talk about today. And, sometimes when questions come in for me, I love when questions come in the mail, into my email, because it helps me to know, like, what are people needing answered and what's going on, So hi, everybody who joined. Nice to see you guys. So, a couple of things I want to talk about today is that I am relaunching intentional metalsmithing So, okay, there, Christina has the link right up there, and that's to the language of jewelry. And I have some talks coming up in there. Actually, Morocco, Sherry was just on here. I'm going to see Sherry. We're going to be 2 weeks on tour, 5-star in Morocco. And one of the things that I want to do there is interview Michelle, who is actually lives in Morocco, and she coordinates these workshops all over, like Tibet and India and different places like that. And Morocco, of course, she lives there. We're doing a workshop there. And I want to do an interview with her there because that's kind of the other side of travel, culture, you know, jewelry, but just really of, you know, the language of jewelry is about symbolism, and it's about cultures, and about building with your own voice and building your culture and just building as an artist and building into your work and doing whatever in the heck you want to do. You know, if you want to explore, it's kind of how to clear and how to explore, you know, how to not cultural appropriate when you're in Morocco and building your own work, you know, really how to keep things you and use your history and your culture with a lot of this. And I talk a lot about it in Jewelry Talk too. So I want to get Michelle in there. Here is the hollow form. And so I want to get Michelle in there just to talk about travel in Morocco. And, you know, I want to talk about how we could be affected, you know, how we could be experienced through her, from her voice talking about Morocco, Moroccan jewelry. It's the Berber people there. So I think it'll be interesting. That's one of the things I'm doing in Morocco. I want to get some photos. It's going to be super exciting. I'll be writing and sending photos here so you guys will get to see kind of what's going on there with the group and the workshop. Yay! So today there was a couple of questions that I had. And since I am relaunching Intentional Metalsmithing, and very soon we're getting the book done this year, and I'm also doing On the Surface workshop. And this On the Surface workshop I'm filming Monday. I had to bump the date back, so I'm filming Monday, so that'll be done soon. So anyway, because of all this, I wanted to talk a little bit about the torches, the screens, some of the tools, just different questions. Hi there, nice to see you. Oh, we're gonna have the fun in the new Facebook group. Christina is going to be hosting it this week on marketing. So Christina's going to be in the language of jewelry, and we're talking about marketing and sales. Christina's talking about marketing and sales. She's hosting it this week. So if you guys want to be in, jump in. You know, it's like with Intentional Metalsmithing, you know, with the program that we have, there's so much to it, and a lot of it is getting out there and selling your work and how to do it and how to be brave and how to show up and have your cheerleaders for you in the background, you know, with whatever style you're working on. There's some people that go into caging and just build endlessly with cages. There's some people that, you know, will work on expanding or wire forms. You know, this is actually just using the wires to build different forms, you know, and you know, it's just really interesting. You could choose one chapter in Intentional Metalsmithing and just go in deep and expand. So it's kind of cool in that way. So, oh my gosh, Christina, this is going to be amazing to talk about marketing. So doors open tomorrow in Intentional Metalsmithing. We're going to be kind of doing a lot of talking on Facebook with the language of jewelry. And Christina, the marketing brilliant person, will be on there this week just talking about marketing your jewelry and different things like that. It's a different side. Her and I once, we recorded a talk that we both did, and it's like I come from being an artist intuitively and, you know, from just having 30 years of experience selling and making jewelry in all different markets. Christina comes from studying and seeing what works and applying technical aspects of marketing. So she's going to have some pretty good stuff to tell you guys. Make sense? Yay! Well, after I film this On the Surface, I'll be able to, which are both these two on my middle fingers, and more. I'm going to be able to start, you know, really getting in there and focusing on Morocco. So I'll see you guys next Thursday, and then I don't know if I'm here that following Thursday. We'll see. I think I'm here to the 14th. I might be. We'll see. But I'm here next Thursday for sure. Okay. So, you know what, you guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about the butane canister. I had a question. I had somebody ask me a question. So this is the can. These are, if you guys are using, you know, I had a couple students that were in my workshop that love using the acetylene, love using propane. Whatever you love to use, you can work it in the Intentional Metalsmithing workshop. I just like to show that I can do everything in all my jewelry, every single piece of jewelry, bigger, smaller, everything with this butane canister. You know, there are times where I'll go in and use 2. You know, for this piece, this took a tremendous amount of heat, and I used 2, one for annealing and one for getting in there, you know. And there's a couple different things that back me up with that, like that. One, if I'm going in, so these are going to be some more like refining tips for you in intentional metalsmithing if you're using this. So when I am looking at my torch, when your can starts getting empty, did you guys notice it's really good to make, I had some people come in, it's really good to have a holder for it, to put it in a holder, have something on the side of your bench to slip it into a holder. This tends to get top heavy once it starts getting a little bit more empty. This can is empty. When your can is emptier, you're gonna have not so hot of a heat. So, oh yeah, the big butane, yay, there you go. So in Mexico, and you know, I found wherever I traveled to, I found butane gas was so easily accessible. So, you know, for me, it's like, I just really learned to work with butane because butane is everywhere. It was in Paris when I had a workshop in Paris. It was in South America. I found it in Mexico. I found it in Spain. It's in Morocco. It's in everywhere that we need it. You know, in the United States, we're used to having different connections. So the butane is a little bit more universal. So I really, you know, from traveling so much, I really started using the butane. So one thing I have to say is you always want to make sure no head, and this is your torch head, and this is a Euro tool, no head is actually treated the same. The flames are always a little bit different. I have 10 of them here, and I brought out 2 of them here. The flames are always a little bit different, so it's interesting. You wouldn't think it would be. So, you know, they're $20 or $25. They're not much, but, you know, with people, you know, so you guys have to decide. Sometimes they do damage quickly. I had a couple that fell over a few times, and if the head is split, you want to make sure that you only use torches that are safe, you know. So then this one, as you guys know, you put it in and slip and turn it, and you turn it on like that. This one is a beautiful flame. I love it. Now, one thing I want to say, this is a new can, filled up to the top, brand new. I always save the top to recap it if I need to take it apart. And I did want to tell you guys that when you have a new can, you have to let it bleed out a little bit. It's, you know, something, I don't know if I have that in the film. This looks good. Let's see how it lights. A little bit sticky, but it's a brand new one, brand new tank. See how it gets, this is just because it's a full can. If I start tipping it, you know, my flame acts really strange sometimes. Now it's not. It's not gonna act strange because you guys are here. Okay, see how big this flame got? You just have a little bit of, you know, you don't have as much control just for a short period of time. There we go. So what I do when I have a brand new can is I'll just turn it on, set it to the side, maybe for like 2-3 minutes, just let it bleed out a little bit, work its way from that surface so air can, you know, even though it's vacuum, you know, it's like it just works itself out and then it starts working well again. So that's kind of one of the things that I talk about a lot. My can is working perfectly now. Good Lord. I'm trying to show you guys how to make mistakes. But you can't, if anyone's ever had it kind of go up like that, then you see. Oh, see, it is a good thing to know. Yes, and I was totally terrified. Yes. So, you know I didn't, you bought 12 cans from Home Depot from the store to pick up. Ended up being $2.99 per can. Not bad, $2.99 per can. Love that, Sherry, from Home Depot. So usually I'll get mine from Amazon because I'm used to ordering it like wherever I'm landing. We actually, Michelle, because when we get to Morocco, we're gonna have our cans waiting for us there. You can, you know, usually I'll go in with the big torch to anneal, but you can anneal, we can do everything with this torch. Sometimes it's kind of hard to draw a bead on the end. If I'm doing a lot of caging, usually I'll try to get like a bigger butane torch that way, you know what I mean? So those are just like some little tips. Amazon and I love ordering that from Home Depot. Get 12 of them at a time so you're not stressed out, you know, if you're gonna run out. It's like I ended up, when I was doing acetylene tanks, I had 2 tanks, a big one and a little one, just because you don't know when you're getting to the end of the line and you could be right in the middle of a project, have a whole day that you think is in front of you and your tank is empty, you know, and it's just, really, I like having the guys come here to fill my tank. It's really dangerous bringing your tank back and forth. You have to have it hooked up so it doesn't tip. If it tips, you're in trouble, you know. So that's one of the things with the butane tank, you know. And like I say, I always say to myself when I come back from a trip, all right, now I can start using my acetylene. But I haven't gone back to my acetylene yet. You know, I still kind of continue to go on with my nomadic tool set and build everything. It just has been really fun and interesting, and I'm so quick with it, you know. You can get it from Auto Fry. Oh, you can get the gas tanks from Auto Fry. Well, I've been talking to Rio Grande, and Rio Grande, we asked them to carry these torch heads. So I think they're even going to be carrying the torch heads, you know. He said that with my program, which is on Rio Grande, I think if you guys know, and I actually have my teaching program on Rio Grande, and that's why we all can get a credit. So people in intentional metalsmithing, you get a little bit of a discount, or you get like a wholesale discount from if you order like through this number on Rio Grande. So, you know, in intentional metalsmithing, you get that discount from Rio. They're promoting my workshop, so I'm super excited about that, you know. And they like, you know, really you can build everything in there. It's so interesting because I have so many people. Yes, butane works so well for our insurance. Oh, Barb's on at Vivi Magoo. So the reason why we all started using these is that we had to show up, you know, we showed up at places like Tucson at Vivi Magoo, who has workshops in Tucson. So we all had to figure out how to put together a kit, the instructors, how to put together a whole soldering system, small scale, and how do we do this in the classroom, you know? So for me, it's like I put together, everyone has a little bit different, but we all use these tools and things. So mine is a little bit different on the essentials, and I try to keep costs down. But one of the things that I started using recently that helps me, that's so vital when you're using the butane, are these two screens. And I talk a lot about this. We just did a little bit of research. This information is in the book too. This is the screens. This one is at Rio. This is a finer one that you could actually get from Home Depot. You can get either one from Home Depot. You could cut it up with a slicer or big shears. But this is a fine. This is for smaller pieces. So when I'm working on small pieces and I don't want things to heat up and stay hot for a long time, you know, this smaller screen is a nice one to use. It has a tendency, when I was working on this piece right here, you know, this is this piece right here, which is a hollow form. We did this in my master's class, you guys. It was really fun if anyone has tried it. But, you know, one of the things, if I tried using this little screen when I was trying to get together this much heat, my screen is going to buckle before I can get my piece soldered down. So what works better when you get bigger are these big screens. And you could even, you know, get larger sizes too. You know, this one is small. So these big screens help with the butane torch, which isn't quite as hot as, you know, some of the tools. But what I always do is I project my butane to hit under, and it heats up the whole piece. And when I get this screen red hot, I have no worries about if I'm using butane or if I'm using acetylene. I'm heating my screen to create a lot of heat, which gives me, you know, what I need to get things hot. So I can solder anything with my butane canister. You know, I did this piece. If anyone has done hollow forms this big, you know how much heat this takes. And it's a 24 gauge. Isn't that interesting? For anyone who knows metal, it's like you're really suggested 18 is a comfort zone of sheet metal, working with bezels. I do a lot of talisman and layers, so I love a thinner gauge. So I'm in intentional metalsmithing, we work with the 24 gauge. It's pretty easy, it's lighter. You know, this way, if I wanted to wear something like this for an earring, it's light, it's super light, you know, so that's kind of what I think of. The only thing I need super light are my earrings. Everything else, I love heavy rings, you know. Okay, so that's it with screens. So these go hand in hand, screens and butane. I had a couple people that were asking me, oh my gosh, Susan, why don't you use a charcoal block? You know, what the heck are you doing? So I use soldering pads, which this, you know, to me, they're the same. Charcoal blocks disappear quicker for me. There are thicker ones, there are thinner ones. I don't really use charcoal blocks that much, not really. I love these soldering pads, they travel better. I love, there's two different sizes, or one of them, this is a super hard, this is like a kiln brick. This gets super hot. Oh my gosh. Don't worry about this. It just takes more heat. So if I'm working on a big project, I'll work with, I'll work with a hard soldering block under. I'll work with, a heavier screen, and this heats up where you don't want to touch this. This holds so much heat. The firm, it's called a hard soldering block. The lighter soldering blocks I use often, like this is actually so soft, you can see it come apart. But this is essential for me when I need to draw in here with markers, if I'm holding something down with my T-pins, which I do love my T-pins, So my station is always set up like this, and then I have a switch out, so I'll either put, now these aren't on here, but I'll either put this down or I'll use a light one. And then if I need to use a hard pad, I can just pull these off to the side. They don't get as hot, and I could solder right down on here, So I always kind of have both of them set up and options around. If you guys got to look at the rest of my station, you're going to see how messy it is here, right, guys? Oh my gosh. When you clean it, you get so excited, but it doesn't stay that way very long. Okay, let me see. What did that say? Rita. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. So you guys are good. Okay. So that's kind of like the combination that I use. One of the things that I did decide to bring in, actually I had a really good review. Let me find this. This was one I ordered. There were people suggesting to me, this is a drill. It has a bunch of tips in there. Oh my God, I think this was $17. And it is a drill. I'm bringing this to Morocco just to have an extra one. But this one, you just plug it in like you're charging your phone, so it goes into the square. And you've got this going on. It has diamond bits in here, all kinds of things. It was $17. So I'm so tiny, comes in this box. I'm gonna bring this one to Morocco with me if I want tiny. Now, this doesn't twist wire very well. And with the new program, I'm twisting a lot of wire. So I actually just use kind of a big drill that's set up. But I am actually gonna be bringing a Dremel that, can work with both of them. So for me, I love, one of the things I've been really enjoying as your jewelry gets more and more complex. Where is remember that cage? Oh, here it is. That cage I showed you guys. Look at how dirty. I was going to show you guys cleaning that up. I'm awesome. Thank you for your videos. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Where do I get the drill? This came from Amazon, and this is called SPTA. Let me see if there's anything else. Power tool. MRT 18 VAC. So this actually, my neighbor, Eva Sherman, who's here in the same building as me, she suggested this, and I just visited with her yesterday, and she uses this everywhere. So if you guys want a $17 polishing tool, this one polishes, drills, all of that. It takes a little bit more work to twist wire. But, you know what? How am I going to do this? Let me see if I can get the pedal over. I always talk to you guys at a different end of my workspace. Okay, hang on, I'm a little bit tangled. I usually don't work with my jewelry on, but I am a little bit today. Get back into shape. Okay, so these are just, I always love these muslin cloths. I have this larger on my jeweler wheel. They work better. Can you send it? Okay, I'll send the details to Christina and she will add it. I actually have an Amazon station that I get a tiny little check from once in a while. Thank you guys. I have an Amazon station and I have a YouTube station too that has all of these back orders of everything, all the past talks that I've had. So you can pop on and learn how to rivet or pop on and learn all different things. So I'll send Christina the detail for that drill. This is the big one, the 250 Fordham. This was a gift to me. It's a bobbing compound. Or I use like a triple E. It's called triple E. I like using two, so I'm going to bring a little brick. And you always want your piece to go away from you. This is going to have a lot of dust because it's brand new. You always want it to rotate away from you. You don't want it to rotate and come right into your face. And you should have glasses on too. So this one, brand new. I had to move my coffee over a little bit. Okay, so this one is going to just get rid of all this dust. You guys like that? This airborne stuff is what doesn't do you good. And so this one I use a lot, and we'll have this in Morocco. We'll have this, oh, you guys are seeing a lot of dust around. But wait till you see how gorgeous this shines up. You get a gorgeous shine. And you just kind of go over it carefully. And there you go. Look at that shine. Gorgeous. And this one's dirty. I'm going to show you the back of this just to show you the back. I just go in with the dirty. It does make my wheel dirty when you go in with the dirty piece, and you want to go in gentle. But when you go in with the dirty piece, it does make yours dirty. So you have to designate, you know, if you're going to keep it clean or you want it dirty. And you can see I did the top part. Look at that gorgeous shine. Whee! Oh my gosh. Oh, I love a dirty shine. It's oxidized with liver sulfur and a dirty shine. So that's pretty cool. With the jewelry, I know you guys all get polishing cloths. I love using my polishing cloths. Let me see if I have one here. I always use these now, and I give these. When anyone buys jewelry, you guys get the polishing cloths. And if you don't, you can get it from Rio. And this gives you a great shine too. So if you use sandpaper, you know, so with nomad, if you're really on a nomad and in the middle of nowhere doing your work, you just want to sand your piece with sandpaper. I have a piece right here. So I could sand off, you know, the rest of this. You decide what sandpaper you want to use. And then you just go in with your polishing cloth and you really polish this up. And you get a nice shine too. Look at the bottom. So the top is done with the bobbing compound and the bottom is just done with the polishing cloth. These polishing cloths go a long way. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's already 12:30. How? Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. Well, Monday I'm going to be working on that film of On the Surface. I still have a little bit of components if anyone is interested. One thing that I saw this weekend is that people are kind of interested in, I sold like an excess of components that I had, and I do have some more. But, you know, it's kind of like these hollow forms that I made a lot of. And, you know, so I'm thinking of if people are looking for pieces and parts in their work. I mean, you guys are seeing that some of my work lately, I'm really kind of loving, this is where I started off with, is using ethnographic pieces and just kind of adding on to my work. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you. I'll be in the new Facebook group tomorrow, guys. So come see me in the language of jewelry. That's all about everything else that has to do with jewelry and techniques too. It's kind of an add-on to intentional metalsmithing. We're launching intentional metalsmithing tomorrow. So if you know of anyone who could benefit from this program, as we know, the more the merrier. We all help each other out. We have a beautiful community. I'm seeing my first and second group in intentional metalsmithing strong, out on their own feet, and they are doing retail shows and selling. I mean, I see some of these people that were in my original group, and they are just selling all summer long, you know, so it really was fun to see. So get in there. It's fall. It's a nice time to offer this. It's a 6-month course, or you can take one at a time, and then you're in our group, and it'd be really fun to have you guys in intentional metalsmithing. It's really my baby, and I love it, and it's working. All right, Christina says so Christina's going to be sending you the link for Facebook Live. I think it's in here. And I get work without, an extensive set of tools. Exactly. And for people overseas, it's like there's Australian people and English people and all kinds of people from out of the country that are in our group. And, you know, in the past, it was really hard to get things in. And I know Canada, you are taxed for everything that comes in, you know. So, so it is nice that, you know, there's ways that you can do things. Anytime that you do something different and move away from the crowd, your work is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be viewed as different, and your work will look a little bit different, and people will notice it. I promise you. You know, that's why I always teach doing your own work, making sure you put your own hand into your work, doing your own work, and, you know, keeping your authenticity. Make sense? So do it, guys. We'll do it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on the language of jewelry. And thank you so much for showing up. It was so much fun today.